is good, but at the same token, if I had kids, I wouldn't let them play football. I let them get smacked one time though, playing on the street, playing on concrete. Like that's how it feels.
I might
no
smack
pads.
my kid in the turkey bowl. To be honest,
I
might run through my kid.
I'm lying.
You know I would too.
Yeah, you would hit him with the knee. You would like bruise their rib. You bruise the kid. You fuck your kid up. I'd call CPS on you.
Yeah, I might get CPS. Yeah, turkey bowl's not a good idea for me.
You'd have a daughter and hit her with a bullet to the face, and she'd have like a permanent scar on her cheek forever. Hey, this is the time my dad hit me in the face with a ball.
So, do you want to sum up this whole pardon to the president storyline, or do you want me to just play the video?
I just play the video. I can't with this dumbass president.
Yeah, so pretty much ongoing story. The NFL protests. Basically, you're president or no one's president.
Oh, by the way, Julio Jones is my sweeper.
President Trump said, "Oh, you guys want a kneel? How about you actually like give me some people to pardon, and I'll see if I can make change." Something like that. And pretty much the NFL Players Committee, whatever the special committee is,
said, "I bet."
They basically pinned him an editorial in the New York Times, and some of them posted PSA. Here is Chris Long's via his Twitter.
As of 2012, there were over 11,000 people sitting in federal prisons on marijuana-related offenses. It is now legal recreationally and or medicinally in almost 30 states. There are people freely profiting off of it, as they should be. Yet still, there are thousands sitting in prison. Those people should be pardoned. There are also numerous cases of people sentenced to life without parole for nonviolent drug crimes. They should not die in prison. And in most cases, people having served decades have done their time. They should go home.
Chris Long might be one of my favorite white people ever. I like Chris White more than a lot of black people.
Chris Long.
Chris Long. Sorry. One of my favorite players from the University of Virginia.
Can I just say?
He had a great Madden rating his rookie year, too.
Duh. Like, yeah. Like, all these things should happen, Mr. President, so make it happen.
If you want a list, I mean, there's thousands of people you could let out, but they're mostly they're black and probably Latino. So I don't. Well, I mean, if you're just basing off the number of people and who's actually in prison and what they actually get busted for, yeah, you'd have to let out a lot of people.
And I think the biggest thing, I'll take this from the actual article itself. It says a handful of pardons will not address the sort of systematic injustice that the NFL players have been protesting. These are problems that our government has created, many of which occur at a local level. President Trump thinks he can end these injustices if we deliver him a few names. He hasn't been listening to us. That pretty much sums up the whole story in 2 sentences.
Yeah, it's like saying all lives matter. Oh, really? Why are there children in cages? Oh, wait, so I guess all lives don't matter. Bet. Kids get murdered in elementary schools, and we do nothing about gun laws. Bet. Okay. Even though over 90% of the country wants it. Bet. Got you. But yeah, it's about players kneeling. And America. Got you.
I think it's good because, listen, they got in the New York Times, message received. If it wasn't already received before, but it's like, for those of us who've been following this, for those of us who've been paying attention to us, for those of us who are consciously aware or living these situations, these are all obvious things, and it's like,
but most people
is this
are
going
stupid.
to change anything?
Most human beings walking the earth are stupid as fuck.
But hey, man,
that's the problem.
I don't blame the NFL players for trying.
I'm going to say this. NFL players actually have more of a right to complain than we do. They make millions of dollars and get taxed way more than we do.
It's true.
So maybe they have more of a... If we're going to take big bank, take little bank, and moral high ground, arguably, all these black dudes in the NFL, all these white players in the NFL who can come to an agreement on social issues and everything, and obviously there's a gap racially, and there just kind of always will be. But if they can come to an agreement on certain things, you know, maybe, just maybe, you should stop saying, well, stick to sports. Maybe some of you bum-ass people out there should just stick to, I don't know, having Twitter accounts with no No, just an egg on it.
And tweeting about shitting on 20-year-olds.
Yeah. And saying maybe 20-year-olds should die and like, good for them, and I didn't listen to his music anyway. Yeah, no shit. We know you didn't. You wouldn't come to their hood fully equipped with like a flamethrower or anything else because you're scared.
All right, man. So let's move on. Some Raiders
Take
talk.
a deep breath. Ooh, sigh.
Yeah, man, we've been pretty combative this whole show, and
not at each other.
Yeah, it's nice. But Raiders talk. I don't think we have a guest this week, so I guess whatever. That's fine. You and I can talk Raiders for days. We are Raiders writers for full press coverage. You can catch our stories there.
And countless other websites that I kind of don't write for anymore, but kind of do.
So, KB, let me ask you this, man. I put out a poll earlier this week. Do the Raiders still have the best offensive line in the AFC West? Because our Twitter poll that had over 120 votes, according to those people, they still do. Your thoughts?
They still do, but I really think they need to fix their right tackle situation. I still think Colt Miller would be a good pick.
I bet you they're going to play a lot of tackle as a second tight end type.
They should just do what the Niners did when they were rebuilding. Yeah, just put 6 or 7 linemen out there and just run the ball down people's throats. Have Colt Miller play tight end. Have Brandon Parker come in. They had Denver Kirkland do that, but I think a lot of those right tackle guys are going to get cut. I don't see Jalon.
I hope Sharp stays on them. I hope David Sharp stays
Sharp
on
looks
because
good.
He actually played good last year, especially for a secondary.
As a backup left tackle, I think they should keep him.
Definitely.
'Cause I think he's athletic enough. I mean, yeah, he blocked for Del Rio's son, and that's probably why he got drafted. But still.
And how about the defensive line? Because the same poll I put out didn't get as many votes, but
Chargers.
The Chargers were number 1.
It's not even close.
And the Broncos were number 2.
It's not even.
I agree with that ranking.
Because I think when you look at terms of sheer defense, the Chargers have a better secondary.
The Chiefs have to find another pass rusher that can consistently do it outside of Houston.
They have Ford, but
That's
everybody
true.
was hurt, and just their
That's
defense, the way everything's set up.
Forgot about Ford.
Yeah, he had 10 sacks one year. But like he's good, it's just they got to be better. Like, it's useless to have 2 good edge rushers when your middle linebackers are trash.
So, the Raiders...
And you only have Eric Berry.
Even with the addition of these old-ass dudes the Raiders signed, they're still at the bottom in terms of defensive line until otherwise proven.
Their safeties are like C+. Like, Reggie Nelson could easily be a second-string safety, and he's really just out there coaching. He's really just there for depth.
What are some other holes you see on the Raiders rosters, and what are some other issues you have with the overall team?
I see holes... in the running back situation and the receiver situation. I get that Jordy Nelson's going to be in the slot. You'll probably have Amari Cooper at X and then Bryant at Z. Cook is going to be pretty much a tight end / receiver. You have Seth Roberts, who I guess you're going to keep or cut. You have, and they're trying to make Ryan Switzer this really great slot receiver. Really, he's just another slow white dude who's pretty quick, and he can only play in the slot. He can't really play anywhere else, and he'll be a punt returner. But he won't really give you much as a punt returner because he's not athletic enough to really be a game-breaking punt returner like he was in North Carolina because, he played at North Carolina. Defensively, when it comes to their linebackers, all it takes is one injury, and then these linebackers are worse off than they were before the draft. That's why I really think they shouldn't have passed on Tremont Edmonds. And then they passed on Warner out of BYU, who's getting really good reviews for the Niners.
Yeah.
They just have Emmanuel Lemure at outside linebacker. Like that's going to save anything.
I'm going to surprise you with my biggest hole. And
Pause. Dear God.
Pause. And here's why.
Fair. Stop saying hole.
Running back, I think, is going to be a bigger issue than people realize because for as good as Marshawn Lynch, especially at the end of the season, was,
There's nobody behind him.
There's nobody behind
Pause.
him. We don't know exactly what Doug Martin is. I'm pretty sure he's washed. I think he's MJD.
He's Larry Johnson washed with the Redskins.
I think he's MJD with the Raiders washed. I think that's how washed he is.
I don't even think he's that good.
Yeah, really. He's really not.
He's one fumble away from getting hit and just saying, fuck, I can't do this anymore.
And
that hurts because he's a Boise State player.
And these past 2 running back classes have been stacked, and the Raiders have missed out both times.
Delvin Cook, they missed out on Le'Veon Bell. I just want y'all to remember that. And that was a know-nothing-ass draft for them that year.
Which has been the case for most of the
I
drafts.
have a notebook.
Yeah, he really does.
It's not on me. I literally have
He really
the past
does.
5 drafts. They missed out on middle linebackers like Eric Kendricks. They missed out on Daniil Hunter.
And the other thing, man, we've been
Jesus,
talking
man.
about the receiver position a lot over this offseason with the Raiders, between Cooper.
Johnny
between
Holton's at the bottom.
getting Nelson.
Isaac
But
Whitney.
the X factor to me is Martavis Bryant. What are we going to get from him? Is he going to be able to play? We heard earlier last week that he missed a drug test, which may or may not
Allegedly.
have suspended him. Then we heard earlier today that he had not been notified of a drug test and that he hadn't missed one and that everything was the status quo. So, the point is, we don't know. The point is, it's easy to believe that he would put himself in a situation where he would get suspended. So that's why I'm skeptical of what exactly we're going to get from him, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
I expect nothing until I see him actually out there. And I think he should have got a number in the 80s. Just did a whole clean sweep.
Really should have. Feds did the sweep.
Wow.
Sorry, I just
Student body left or
popped
right?
up my head.
Student body, yeah, I know. I didn't say it, though. I didn't say it, but I thought it. But, like, when it comes to Bryant, I mean, if you lose him, there goes the diversity in your offense. Because he takes the top off every time just by running a 9 route. And I don't.
And outside of Amari Cooper, they don't have that.
And honestly,
because like you said, Holton's probably going to get cut.
Holton will be there. He shouldn't get cut.
He might get cut.
If you cut him, like who else?
Special teams as a gunner?
Isaac Whitney might be something out of USC in his second year, but we don't know yet. He's athletic. He's fast. But just because you're fast and athletic doesn't mean you're going to get a chance. And the Raiders clearly don't want to do what the Green Bay Packers did, is just when they passed on Equanimeous St. Brown, Marquez Valdez Scantling out of University of South Florida, 6'5", ran a 4.37, and actually has some, like, he could be coached up to be something. Like, and they passed on Cedric Wilson in the 7th round. The Raiders passed on a lot of guys who could have came in and helped. So it's kind of like, well, yeah, let's depend on Ryan Switzer. Let's depend on receivers who run 5-yard routes and average 8 yards a catch. Like, that's really going to help your football team. Like, Jordy Nelson didn't even average 10 yards a catch last year. So, yeah, let's just depend on running lazy-ass routes that don't go past the first down marker. I don't understand why they don't want to have a vertical offense and they have a QB who's built for a vertical offense.
Yeah, he's built for a spread offense.
Honestly, it's like with Phillip Rivers, you want to know why they do dink and dunks? Because that's just who he has. But he can also throw it deep, and they take shots. And they've always been an aggressive offense since Drew Brees was there. But no, for some reason, these coaches who end up on the Raiders always want this vanilla-ass offense like anybody's scared of the Raiders.
On that note...
And Donald Penn's old, by the way, in case y'all didn't know.
I've been saying that. On that note, what do you think of Gruden coming in there, and what is he going to do for the culture and just his relationships with the players overall?
I think he's going to elevate the entire football IQ of the team.
Wow, KB. This is a bit of a change for you from earlier in the season, in the offseason.
Yeah, I really thought about it. I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm going through a lot of shit right now, so I'm really reflective, and I've been, like, meditating, like, all the time lately. But I really sit back and think about it, and one thing, if there's no offensive creativity, there will be no excuse for missed assignments and false starts and penalties. So I feel like they will be a disciplined team, or they'll die trying.
I think the biggest thing for me...
Especially on defense.
Biggest thing for me with Gruden is the reviews are out that he has a great relationship with Derek Carr.